You think you're having a normal disagreement, a little tension, a misunderstanding. But watch what happens the moment you try to be fair. You bring facts, they bring vibes. You bring context, they bring accusations. You answer one question, and somehow you're apologizing for a crime you didn't commit. They twist your words, quote you out of order, then stare at you like you're the liar. You walk away foggy, replaying every sentence, asking yourself the most dangerous question: maybe it's me. That's the tell. If you leave a conversation feeling confused, guilty, and defensive, you weren't in a disagreement. You were in a game you didn't agree to. Dirty players don't fight for truth. They fight for control of perception. They don't want the right answer. They want the room to feel like they're right. They use guilt like a leash. After all I've done for you. They use passive aggression like poison. Wow, you're really different now. They use smears like a pre-attack, telling others you're difficult before you even speak. And if you react emotionally, they win twice, first by baiting you, then by shaming your reaction as proof you're unstable. If you've been confused by people like this, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've been playing by rules they don't follow. You assume conversations are about understanding, so you explain. You assume adults are honest, so you clarify. You assume fairness is the currency, so you compromise. But in their world, fairness is a trap. Every extra word you offer becomes material they can distort. Every apology becomes a receipt they can cash later. Every attempt to clear it up becomes ammunition, and your sincerity becomes their tool. Machiavelli would call this your first mistake, assuming other people are governed by your morals. The fastest way to lose power is to project your honesty onto someone who uses honesty as camouflage. A fox doesn't fight like a lion, and if you charge at a fox expecting a clean battle, you'll be chasing shadows while your reputation bleeds in the background. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to teach you how to win arguments. That's a child's goal. We're going to teach you how to outsmart dirty tactics mentally without becoming dirty yourself. You'll learn to spot the hidden courtroom, refuse the premise, slow the tempo, and collapse their drama with calm policy. You'll learn how to make manipulation backfire, not with rage, but with frame control. You'll keep your humanity and still become unpullable. Because once you control the frame, their tricks stop working. And when their tricks stop working, they reveal their real intentions. In the next minutes, I'll show you the first move, how to stop giving them a courtroom to rule and start making their games die from lack of oxygen. Stay with me, because once you learn the rules, you'll stop bleeding in conversations you thought were harmless. If you've been losing to chaos, this is where it stops. Dirty players don't need to be right. They just need you unstable. That's the entire strategy. If they can get you emotional, defensive, or confused, your intelligence becomes useless, your composure collapses, and they can steer the situation like a driver steering a drifting car. They're not trying to win with truth, they're trying to win with leverage. And the dirty playbook is predictable. It comes in 4 weapons. Once you can name them, you stop taking them personally. You stop thinking it's random drama. You start seeing it as tactics. Weapon 1, gaslight and fog. This is the art of reality pollution. They deny what they said, twist what you meant, and rewrite what happened until you're not arguing anymore, you're doubting your own memory. I never said that. You're imagining things. That's not what happened. Or the more advanced version, they admit a piece of it, but change the intent. I was joking. You took it the wrong way. The goal isn't to convince you intellectually. The goal is to exhaust you. When a conversation becomes a maze, most people surrender just to escape. And that surrender is the win. You accept their version of reality because your brain is tired. Weapon 2, bait and blow up. They provoke you on purpose, then shame your reaction. It's psychological entrapment. They poke, sarcasm, disrespect, passive-aggressive digs until you snap or get emotional. Then they step back, calm and righteous. See, this is why no one can talk to you. Suddenly, the original provocation disappears, and the only thing on trial is your tone. This is why your reaction is their food. If you're reactive, you're controllable. They can press the same button again tomorrow and get the same outcome. Weapon 3. Moral traps. This is the cleanest weapon because it looks like virtue. They don't say, "I want control." They say, "I'm hurt." They don't say, "Obey me." They say, "A good person wouldn't do this." They weaponize morality to make you overcompensate. You're selfish. You don't care about anyone. If you loved me, you would. Now you're not discussing behavior. You're defending your character. You start giving explanations, making promises, offering concessions, because you're terrified of being seen as bad. And once they discover you're terrified of being seen as bad, they own you. They can pull your conscience like a leash whenever they want. Weapon 4. Social warfare. This is when they stop fighting you directly and start fighting your reputation, smears, triangulation, concern. They'll tell other people their version first, so you're already framed before you arrive. They'll say, "I'm worried about them," so they look noble while poisoning your image. They'll recruit allies to pressure you. Everyone thinks you're overreacting. They'll pit people against each other so you feel isolated and desperate to be accepted again. Social warfare is powerful because humans fear exile more than they fear being wrong. If they can threaten your belonging, they can control your behavior. Now connect the psychology. All 4 weapons aim at the same target, your nervous system. They want you reactive. They want you rushing to explain, rushing to fix, rushing to prove. Because a calm person is difficult to manipulate. A calm person doesn't give free leverage. A calm person doesn't provide drama as fuel. But a reactive person? A reactive person can be moved like furniture. Machiavelli understood this in political terms. The one who controls the story controls the room. It doesn't matter what happened if everyone believes a different version. It doesn't matter how fair you are if you look guilty, emotional, or unstable. And dirty players understand this instinctively. They don't need philosophy, they have practice. So stop fighting facts with people who aren't playing a fact game. Stop trying to prove reality to someone who benefits from bending it. Once you recognize these weapons, your entire strategy changes. You don't fight their claims, you fight their frame. You stop trying to win the debate, and you start breaking the mechanism that creates the debate in the first place. Because once you see the playbook, the next question becomes dangerous. What do you do when you know they're playing dirty and you refuse to roll in the mud with them? That's where the real power begins. Here's how you beat dirty players without becoming one. You stop trying to win their argument and you start winning the frame. The frame is the invisible rule set underneath the conversation. Who's credible? Who's emotional? Who's the problem? Who has to explain? And who gets to judge? Dirty people don't need to be right. They just need you off balance. These 5 mental moves shut the courtroom down and make their tactics starve. Move 1. Refuse the premise. When they accuse you, you're selfish, you're dramatic, you're ungrateful. Your reflex is to defend your character. That reflex is the leash. Instead, treat the accusation like an opinion floating in the air, not a charge you must answer. Say, "That's your story," or, "If you believe that, okay," or the cleanest one, "Noted." Then stop. No essay, no emotion. You're not agreeing. You're refusing to enter the trial. Example: a coworker says, "You're trying to make me look bad in front of everyone." Old you rushes into context. New you says calm, "That's your interpretation." Then you move back to the task. What's the next step on this project? If they try to drag you back, you repeat once. That's still your interpretation. Repetition is a wall. Walls don't debate. Move 2. Delay your reaction. Urgency is their leash, because urgency forces your nervous system to obey. Dirty players love right now energy. rapid replies, instant apologies, immediate explanations, because speed makes you sloppy and emotional. So you create time on purpose. I'll think about it. I'll respond later. Not doing this right now. This isn't avoidance, it's control of pace. Pace is power. Example, a partner hits you with, "Answer me right now, do you even care about me?" If you panic, you're trapped. If you delay, you regain the steering wheel. Say, "We can talk later when we're calm." Then you stop typing. Stop talking. You don't reward emotional urgency with instant access. You're teaching them a new rule. You don't get to hijack me with pressure. Move 3. Ask one cold question. Questions shift power because the person answering is working for the person asking. Dirty players speak in fog. You force clarity. Use questions that expose intention, not emotion. What exactly do you want? What's the point of this? What are you asking me to do? How would you like this to end? If they can't answer cleanly, it reveals the truth. They weren't seeking resolution, they were seeking control. Example, a friend says, "Wow, you've changed. You never make time for anyone anymore." Instead of defending your schedule, ask, "What exactly are you asking for?" They'll either get honest, "I want to hang out more," or they'll stay in fog. Fog is manipulation. Clarity is negotiation. Your question forces a choice. Move 4. Collapse the drama with policy. Policies don't argue, they govern. A policy is a rule of operation that doesn't require agreement. That doesn't work for me. I'm not discussing this in that tone. We can talk when it's respectful. I don't do threats. I don't respond to sarcasm. Notice how these sentences don't beg to be. Understood. They announce the boundary and remove oxygen from theatrics. Example, someone guilt trips you. "After everything I've done for you, you owe me." If you defend, you're trapped in a debt audit. If you use policy, you end the game. I'm not doing guilt-based conversations. If they escalate, you don't escalate back. You repeat the policy and change access. Policy is the new law of the room. Move 5. Strategic silence plus exit. This is where most people fail because they confuse leaving with losing. In reality, staying in a toxic arena is the loss. It drains time, emotion, reputation, and clarity. When the conversation turns into fog, bait, insults, or constant reframing, you stop feeding it. You go quiet. You end the call. You walk away. You reduce access. Silence isn't weakness when it's paired with consequence. It's dominance, because you're refusing to be steered. Example, someone keeps poking with jokes meant to humiliate you. You say once, "Don't speak to me like that." If it continues, you don't argue about whether it was just a joke. You leave. That's the lesson. Not your speech, your movement. Your feet teach faster than your mouth. Now watch how these moves change different arenas. With a dirty coworker, you refuse the premise, ask one cold question, and push everything into documentation. Send that request in email. Confirm the deadline in writing. Why? Because dirty players love hallway fog, they love verbal chaos. Paper kills manipulation, not by being aggressive, by being precise. With a manipulative friend, you delay your reaction and demand specifics. If you want to see me, pick a day. If they sulk, you don't chase. Chasing is the reward. Calm consistency is the consequence. With a narcissistic partner, you stop defending your intentions and start enforcing tone and access. We can talk when it's respectful. If they insult, you end the conversation. Not to punish, because insults are a tactic to make you emotional and controllable. With family guilt, you keep your no simple. "I can't do that." If they demand reasons, you don't hand them ammunition. "I'm not explaining further." That's not cruelty, that's self-protection. These 5 moves do one thing. They remove leverage. Dirty people need you emotional, urgent, and explainable. When you become calm, slow, and policy-driven, their tactics bounce off. And that's when the real game begins. Because once they can't control you directly, they switch to indirect warfare. Smears, triangulation, concern, and recruiting other people to pressure you. You'll hear, "I'm just worried about them," said to others instead of to your face. That escalation isn't random, it's predictable. And next, we're going to cover exactly how to survive that phase without panicking, without over-explaining, and without letting them control the room through optics. When you stop reacting, dirty players don't suddenly become respectful. They evolve, because the tactic they were using, baiting your emotions, was never the goal. It was the tool. The goal was leverage. So when direct leverage fails, they switch to indirect warfare, social games, optics, and reputation sabotage. This is the escalation phase, and it's the phase that breaks good people, because it feels unfair. You think, "I'm staying calm, I'm being reasonable," and yet the pressure increases. Suddenly they're telling others their version. Suddenly they're concerned about you. Suddenly they're the victim and you're the villain. Not because you did something new, but because you stopped feeding the old mechanism. Here's what to expect. They'll recruit others. They'll triangulate. They'll pull a third person into the story so you're outnumbered. Everyone agrees with me. They'll play the wounded saint. "I've tried so hard, but they're impossible." They'll spread concern as camouflage. "I don't want drama. I'm just worried." And they'll threaten withdrawal, silent treatment, withholding affection, removing access to see if you'll chase and return to the old you. This is where you need strategy, not emotion. First, build a reputation shield. A reputation shield isn't a speech. It's consistency, calm patterns, documented behavior. If it's workplace conflict, move everything into writing. Can you put that request in an email? Let's confirm the deadline. Paper kills fog. If it's personal, stop sending emotional paragraphs. Emotional messages are raw footage they can edit. Keep communication short, clear, and boring. The more composed you are, the harder it is to paint you as unstable. Your calm becomes armor because it leaves them with nothing dramatic to show. Second, don't over-explain publicly. This is where most people lose. They hear rumors and immediately run into the town square to defend themselves. Big mistake. Public defense looks like guilt, and it keeps the drama alive. If someone asks, keep it simple. "We had a disagreement, I'm handling it." Or, "It's private." Then move on. Private clarity, public composure. The people who matter will watch your behavior over time. The people who don't matter will chase the story anyway. Don't feed them. Third, selective access. Distance is a consequence. If someone keeps playing dirty, they lose intimacy, they lose your personal details, they lose your time, they lose your emotional availability. You don't announce it like revenge, you just adjust the gates. Fewer calls, less proximity, more formality. You're teaching a political lesson. Access to you is earned through respect, not claimed through pressure. Dirty players hate this because they want closeness without accountability. Fourth, third-party neutrality. Triangulation only works if you chase the triangle. If someone says, "So-and-so thinks you're wrong," you don't argue with an invisible jury. You say, "If they have a concern, they can talk to me directly." Then you stop. You don't plead your case to intermediaries. You don't send messengers. Messengers are how dirty players spread fog. You keep the line direct and clean. Anyone unwilling to speak directly is not seeking resolution, they're seeking control. Machiavelli would remind you, appearances matter, but composure matters more. Your job is not to clear your name in every conversation. Your job is to become so consistent that the smear can't stick. Dirt sticks to wet surfaces. Composure dries you out. And here's the open loop to lock in. The final level is not beating them in a moment. It's becoming someone dirty tactics can't attach to, someone who doesn't panic under optics, doesn't chase approval, and doesn't hand their nervous system to the crowd. Because once you reach that level, the game stops being about them and starts being about your sovereignty. The real win isn't beating dirty people in conversation. That's their arena. That's where they're strongest, where they can twist words, weaponize emotions, and turn every sentence into a trapdoor. The real win is becoming unplayable. Unplayable means they can't pull you with guilt, because you don't negotiate with emotional debt. They can't hook you with confusion, because you don't chase clarity from liars. They can't bait you into reacting, because you control your pace. They can't smear you into panic, because your consistency has already built a reputation shield. You stop giving access to your emotions, your time, and your narrative. And notice how clean that is. You don't need them to admit they're wrong. You don't need closure. You don't need the final conversation. That craving for a final conversation is usually just your nervous system begging for justice from someone who doesn't believe in justice. So you stop seeking a verdict. You stop seeking confession. You stop seeking understanding. You simply remove leverage. That's the Machiavellian upgrade. You don't argue with snakes. You redesign the environment so snakes can't reach you. You don't win by yelling louder. You win by controlling access, controlling optics, and refusing to enter the mud pit. Because here's the truth. Dirty players only keep playing dirty when it works. When the bait doesn't get a reaction, they get bored. When the fog doesn't confuse you, it collapses. When the smear doesn't shake you, it dies. Their power is borrowed from your participation. The moment you stop participating, they start starving. So, remember this line and live it. If they play dirty, don't roll in the mud. Change the rules by refusing the game. In the next video, I'll show you how to detect dirty players early, before you're emotionally invested, and how to punish manipulation calmly, without rage, without speeches, and without ever giving them the satisfaction of controlling you again.